Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Thomas and today I'll be sharing 4 success tips for beginning educators based on my field experiences and what I've learned throughout this course. Although I am pursuing a career as a speech-language pathologist rather than becoming a classroom teacher, this course has helped me realize that SLPs are educators too. We support students learning every day by helping them communicate, build confidence, and participate successfully in the classroom. Throughout my field experiences, I observed how educational psychology theories come to life in real educational settings, and those experiences helped me shape the success tips that I'll be sharing today. My educational stance is that effective educators do much more than teach academic content. They create environments where students feel respected, supported, and capable of learning. Throughout this course, I learned that student success is influenced by many factors, including motivation, relationships, classroom management, and individual learning needs, whether working in a classroom or in an SLP therapy setting. Educators should build positive relationships, maintain high expectations, and create opportunities for every student to succeed. I believe that students learn best when they feel valued and are encouraged to grow through meaningful learning experiences. Both of my field experiences reinforce many of the educational psychology concepts we studied throughout this course. During my classroom observation, I saw how clear expectations, consistent routines, and positive reinforcement created a productive learning environment. The teacher focused on preventing behavior problems before they even occurred and maintained positive relationships with students while addressing inappropriate behavior respectfully. While watching the Ron Clark story, I observed many of those same principles just in a different setting. Ron Clark motivated students by building trust and relationships, maintaining high expectations, and creating engaging lessons that made students excited about learning. Although the experiences were different, they both demonstrated that effective educators intentionally create environments where students feel supported, motivated, and capable of succeeding. Okay, so the first success tip I would give beginning educators is to build relationships before expecting results. One of the strongest themes across both of my field experiences was the importance of meaningful teacher-student relationships. During my classroom observation, I noticed that the teacher consistently treated students with respect, even when redirecting inappropriate behavior. Rather than reacting harshly, she calmly reminded students of expectations and praised positive behavior once students got back on task. I observed a similar approach in the Ron Clark story. Before expecting students to improve academically, Ron Clark spent time getting to know them. He visited their homes, he communicated with their families, and these efforts helped build trust and show students that he genuinely cared about their success. As those relationships grew stronger, students became more willing to participate, work hard, and believe in themselves. As a future SLP, I believe building trust will be one of the most important parts of my job. Students are much more likely to communicate, take risks, and practice difficult skills when they feel safe, supported, and understood. My second success tip is to be proactive instead of reactive. Effective educators don't wait for problems to occur before taking action. Instead, they establish clear expectations, consistent routines, and supportive learning environments that prevent many behavior issues from developing in the first place. During my classroom observation, I saw how routines, classroom jobs, and clearly communicated expectations kept students engaged and minimized disruptions. The teacher addressed concerns calmly before behaviors escalated, which helped maintain a positive classroom environment. Ron Clark also demonstrated proactive teaching by maintaining high expectations while providing students with the support they needed to meet those expectations. These experiences reminded me that consistency is one of the most effective classroom management tools educators can have. Students thrive when they know what is expected of them and feel supported throughout the learning process. The third success tip is to encourage growth through positive reinforcement. One of the educational psychology theories that appeared consistently throughout both field experiences was B.F. Skinner's theory of operant conditioning. Skinner believed that behaviors followed by positive consequences are more likely to occur again. During my classroom observation, the teacher regularly praised students for being prepared, following directions, and participating appropriately. In the Ron Clark story, Ron Clark focused on recognizing effort and improvement rather than perfection. He celebrated small successes and provided encouragement whenever students made progress. These observations also connected with the idea of shaping, where educators reinforce small improvements over time until students achieve larger goals. As a future SLP, I know that communication progress often happens gradually. So celebrating small successes can help students remain motivated and build confidence throughout the learning process. And my final success tip is to make learning meaningful. Students are much more likely to stay engaged when instruction is interactive, relevant, and enjoyable. Throughout the Ron Clark story, I observed him using songs, games, movement, classroom competitions, and other creative teaching strategies to capture students' attention. Rather than relying only on traditional lectures, he made learning an experience that students looked forward to. This observation also connected to Dan Pink's ideas about motivation. Pink explains that lasting motivation develops through autonomy, mastery, and purpose rather than relying on external rewards. By the end of the movie, Ron Clark students were no longer working hard simply because they wanted praise. They became motivated because they believed they could succeed and they took pride in their accomplishments. Technology can also support meaningful learning by increasing students' engagement and providing opportunities for collaboration, communication, and individualized instruction. When used thoughtfully, technology becomes another tool educators can use to support student learning. One of the most important lessons I learned in this course is that every student learns differently. Effective educators recognize these differences and adjust their instruction to meet students' individual needs. Beginning educators should provide differentiated instructions, support multilingual learners, make accommodations for students with disabilities, and continue challenging gifted learners. Collaboration is also essential. So teachers, SLPs, families, and other professionals all play important roles in helping students succeed. And as a future SLP, I know I will work with students who will have a wide variety of communication needs. So educational psychology has helped me better understand the importance of meeting students where they are while continuing to encourage growth and independence. Before taking this course, I mainly viewed education through the lens of communications disorders. While communication will always remain central to my future profession, I now understand that motivation, relationships, classroom management, and learning environments all influence student success. These field experiences help me recognize that SLPs are educators who support much more than communication skills. We help students build confidence, participate more fully in the classroom, and develop skills they need to become successful learners. The educational psychology concepts that I learned throughout this course will continue to influence how I work with students, collaborate with teachers and families, and create supportive learning environments throughout my career. In closing, my field experiences reinforce that successful educators do much more than deliver instructions. They build relationships, establish supportive learning environments, they recognize student growth, and create meaningful learning experiences that inspire students to succeed. The 4 success tips that I shared today are to build relationships before expecting results, be proactive instead of reactive, encourage growth through positive reinforcement, and make learning meaningful. These principles can benefit educators across all disciplines, including SLPs. So as I continue to prepare for my future career, I plan to apply these lessons in my own practice by creating positive, supportive environments where students feel confident communicating, learning, and reaching their full potential. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen to my presentation, and I hope these success tips provide helpful strategies that beginning educators can use to support students and promote meaningful learning experiences. Thank you.